Some of us really struggle when it comes to handling people who cry. We don't know what's the right thing to say. We get very uncomfortable if somebody else is crying. We don't know really because we don't know how to respond to it. Some of us on the other side have also experienced when I cry, people say the most inappropriate things and it just annoys the hell out of me. I don't know why people come and say all these weird things. And who knows, you and I would have been one of those people who may have unknowingly annoyed somebody else by saying the wrong things at the wrong time. So today's video we're going to talk about 3 things which we are not supposed to say when someone is crying. Number 1 of which is don't cry. When someone is crying, if you say don't cry, you are invalidating their entire emotion. You're saying no, you're not supposed to be crying. Now why would we want to say something that invalidates their experience? It only infuriates the other person even more when we say things like don't cry. Just like how you wouldn't tell an angry person don't get angry when they're in the heat of the moment, you wouldn't tell a person who's crying not to cry as well. If you tell an angry person don't get angry, they're going to get even more frustrated with it. So likewise, when a person is crying, it's best not to tell don't cry. Number 2, on the list of what not to say is be strong. Don't cry, be strong. So when someone is crying, if you're telling them be strong, it presupposes that you are thinking they are not being strong in the moment. Now, tears are not a sign of weakness by any which ways. Just like how laughter is not a sign of strength, tears are not a sign of weakness either. Yes, tears and laughter are just 2 emotions and 2 different ways of expressing 2 different emotions. Sometimes we laugh so hard that we'll end up crying because of the laughter itself. So tears by itself are not bad. So someone is emotional, upset and they're crying, we can't go and tell them be strong, don't cry. Because we can't tell them they're being weak when they're crying. They're just experiencing an emotion in that moment. If nothing else, we should at least stand in silence to let them purge out that emotion and not tell them anything that will just make them feel lesser or smaller or weaker in any which way. Yeah. So let's not do that. Yeah. Number 3, top on the list, what not to say is don't cry, everything will be okay. Now, what's wrong with this, you might wonder? Don't cry, everything will be okay. Well, how can you assure them of that? Do you know the future? No, right? And it's not even about that. Future will be okay. You know that. They also know that, heart of hearts. They're not crying about the future, are they? They're crying about this particular moment where something has gone wrong. Even though they also know future may be okay, right now they're feeling this emotion for what happened now. Imagine someone gets a physical wound. You can't say it's okay, the pain will go away. Pain will go away, true that. But what about now? Now that they're feeling the pain, they want to express that pain in a certain shape and form. So don't say everything will be all right in that moment when they're really going through some kind of a crisis situation. Yes, that is not, I know your intention is to reassure them, but that is far from it. It creates different effects for different people. So you might want to steer clear of saying everything will be okay too. Yes, let them just experience what they're experiencing, hear them out. The best thing you could do is hear them out, acknowledge. You don't have to agree to everything that they're saying, but acknowledge, saying, I understand how you may be feeling. I'm sorry that you're feeling this way. So those, you can just acknowledge their emotions rather than either validating or invalidating their emotions. And don't tell them don't cry, things will be okay, be strong and all of that. Those are not really required. Be with them, be a good listener. Sometimes if you really don't know what to say, stand in silence and say I'm with you. That's more than enough. That ought to do it. Yes, less is powerful in these cases. They're not looking for a solution from you right away. They're looking for you to at least acknowledge, stand by them and understand that they're going through something and be with them without making them feel small or big, right or wrong. That's the best we could do. Yes. So I know all of you are empathetic and you want to be there for people when they're in need, and with the best of intentions, sometimes we tend to say the wrong things at the wrong moments. So here's a small tip that'll just help you align your intentions with your words. And I'm sure that's going to go a long way in making a down and out person feel a little better just because you're there with them. However, if it is a repeated pattern and they're unconsciously addicted to pain, then there is another way to deal with it, which we'll discuss in another video. So wishing you all of that wonderful influence. Take care of yourselves as you're taking care of others too. Take care, stay blessed and have a wonderful day ahead. This is Narmada Rao, psychologist and NLP trainer from Master Yourself Academy, signing out.